Deshaun Watson is out for the season with shoulder surgery set for him. He has a broken bone in his throwing shoulder. And for clarity, Deshaun Watson played 2.5 quarters versus the Ravens last week with a fractured shoulder and a high ankle sprain before the Browns were able to secure the win. Of course, we know the trade details for Deshaun Watson. The Browns received Deshaun Watson. The Texans got 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a fifth-round pick. This could possibly go down, as we've been talking about it for many weeks, a lot of speculation around the NFL. This could go down as the worst NFL trade of all time. One of maybe the worst trades in sports history. Deshaun Watson, in front of our eyes, is literally pulling off highway robbery, the ultimate heist. He's robbing the bank right in front of you and telling you to look the other way. He is bamboozling, hoodwinking, running amok the Cleveland Browns right now. With his $230 million guaranteed contract, he's already made 97.7, so screw it, we'll say 98 million, just shy of $100 million over just 12 games played in the last 2 seasons. He played the last 6 of the season last year and did not look very good. He had to miss the first 11 due to his shenanigans. And this year, did not play in a whole lot of games as well. Really 6 games when you look at it. Deshaun Watson didn't play for a month. He was a healthy scratch a couple times. We saw some injuries giving him issues. And this also goes back to some concern for Deshaun Watson's durability as well. Deshaun Watson has made almost $8 million a game. $8 million a game to only play 12 games over the last 2 seasons. And we saw Deshaun Watson. We knew he was a generational quarterback. We knew he was very, very good when the Browns traded for him, but they traded for him after he did not see the NFL for 27 games. And I'll go back to the same adage. I'll sound like a damn broken record if I have to. It was a desperate move from a desperate franchise, really for a player that was desperate to get back in the league. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The Browns had not had a franchise quarterback to pair with that offense that they had built around Baker. They had built around him to support him. With Kevin Stefanski coming in and winning Coach of the Year and cleaning up Freddie Kitchens' mess, they needed a quarterback, one of which they thought was Deshaun Watson after missing the field for a year, all of his allegations. It looked like he didn't even step on an NFL field the way he's played for most of the games with the Cleveland Browns. And it's horrible. It's horrible to know that the Browns, it was like when I said it with the Jets earlier this year. The Jets had worked so damn hard getting Robert Saleh from the Niners, going and drafting Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, getting all those young defensive players, and just rebuilding that culture, getting what felt like a new Jets era ready to emerge. And I talked to plenty of Jets fans. I watched plenty of Jets fans on some of my favorite shows. They had very high, very, very high hopes for that. And knowing that they were then chasing Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, hell no. Don't turn around and walk away, run away. But I started buying into the hype more. I thought they were really going to do big things. And of course, they see Aaron Rodgers go and trade his Achilles or tear his Achilles. But I feel the same way about the Browns. You have so many dumpster fires, 2 straight years of Hugh Jackson. Got a lot of respect for him. Had him on the What Off Season podcast. If y'all been sticking with me for that long, great interview. One of the most tight, concise interviews ever. Anyways, did not win a lot of games there. Did not win even 5 games in his 2 years with the Cleveland Browns, with the 32 games that he coached. Then Freddie Kitchens comes in, gets fired after 1 year. So then they decide to bring in Kevin Stefanski. And Stefanski, I think, is a solid coach. People were calling for his job before this year. People were calling for his job potentially last year. And I'm like, why? He dealt with a lightning in a bottle Baker Mayfield that I thought was never, gonna really hold up to that number 1 pick status. Then Baker comes back down to life. Then they get rid of Baker, send him to the Panthers to trade for Deshaun Watson. He misses the first 11 games of the year. They have all of their, backup quarterbacks hopping in and out of the lineup, playing through those 11 games. Then he gets Deshaun Watson back, who looks really bad over the last 6 games of last season, and then has looked average, and at most times below average this NFL season. So I've got mercy and grace for Kevin Stefanski. I still think he's got more time. Yes, the record has went down every year, but the team has showed you more promise in the time with Stefanski than anybody else. So now here they're just going to go again with Dorian Thompson-Robinson stepping in, with PJ Walker as his backup, and Kevin Stefanski will continue with the top defense in the league to try to make this happen. But as of right now, what else do we have to think other than this is the worst NFL trade of all time? But if any team would do it, it would be the Cleveland Browns. And now they will sit here and contemplate this money that they've paid him as, again, 12 games over the last 2 seasons. He's made $98 million, almost $8 million a game. I even wanted to be so petty to break it down into snap counts and to break it down into passes thrown to understand how much Deshaun Watson has really made in his small amount of time on that 5-year contract that the Browns gave to him. And now this Browns defense, first in yards allowed at 243, first in passing yards allowed at 151, fourth in points allowed at 17, and tied for fourth in sacks at 30, and tied for fifth in interception with 9. This defense is now going to have to go forward with DTR, who I've got a lot of respect for. I enjoyed his rookie profile coming into the draft. I took a look at some of his tape. I enjoyed the way he played in college. But the remaining schedule that they're going to have to go forward with, they've got the Steelers at home. I've got the Steelers winning that game. We'll have our Week 11 picks coming later on. They've got the Broncos on the road. They've got the Rams on the road, the Jags and the Bears at home, the Texans on the road, the Jets at home, and then the Bengals on the road. So I've got them losing to the Steelers. Broncos and Browns. Broncos are at home, so I'll take the Broncos there. I could see the Browns beating the Rams. I really could. So I've got them 1-2 in this stretch. Probably losing to the Jags 1-3. I think they could beat the Bears, so that's 2-3. They'll lose to the Texans on the road. That's 2-4. Jets, Browns. Final game of the season. I'll take the Browns there. And then, damn. I mean, the last game of the season, the top 2 highest paid quarterbacks are out for the year. Browns at Bengals. I think I'll take the Bengals in that game. I will. So what is that? They'll beat the Rams, the Bears, and the Jets. So they're going to win 3 of their final 8 games on the year. Unfortunately, this is just a 9-8 football team at this point, which I hate to say that. I really do. Or they're going to finish out as a 9-8 football team, because I said it coming into the year. Don't sleep on the Browns. Don't sleep on them. They're going to be in the AFC playoffs. If Deshaun Watson returns to that form, or even 75, 80% of what he was with that defense, with that coaching, with that offense, all those weapons, one of the most loaded rosters in the NFL, one of the best front sevens, one of the best defenses, they're going to be a great team. They're going to be a top team. I can't remember where I had them in my preseason power rankings coming into the year, but now they have to deal with this. Now they have to venture more games without their top paid quarterback. And this is the price you have to pay. When you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I've said it all the time. If you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. You ask dumb questions, you're going to get dumb answers. And that's just another instance of this here with the Cleveland Browns. I hope they can figure it out with Deshaun Watson. I hope they can figure it out with their star quarterback situation, because they've worked really hard to get this franchise where it's at now. And going forward is just going to tell us a lot about this football team.